And I do remember Casey saying something about Tony coming to get her, but I can't remember specifically.
Tony picked her up.
Yeah.
All right.
And that day, that's when I got a call to come pick her up, that she ran out of gas, and where she was. And she said that she ran out of gas at the corner, and that somebody helped her push her car into the Amscot. So then I went and picked her up.
Just as you're looking at her and you got on the phone.
I was at the light ready to make a U-turn on Goldenrod, and I called her, and she was like standing outside
Was she
of her
standing in the
car.
back of her car, side, was the door open, anything?
And she was standing out on the other side. Like,
Opposite side of the car?
yeah,
So you couldn't-
facing out the road with the groceries on the back of it, I guess, in the back, whatever.
Okay, so she had already had the groceries outside on top of the
Yeah,
car.
she was
waiting, like,
outside,
she's waiting
waiting
for you.
outside, yeah.
Where were the groceries from?
They weren't actually groceries from the store, it was from her house, or something to make for dinner that night.
From Grandma's house.
Yeah.
On that day, on that day of the 27th, did she mention anything to you about squirrels, animal on a car, anything?
I can't remember her ever mentioning anything with an
Okay.
animal.
We just need to...
Here we are at the Amscot check cashing facility. This is the facility that on June 27th, Casey Anthony supposedly ran out of gas, either going this direction down Goldenrod or the other driveway on Colonial. This is the intersection of Colonial and Goldenrod. Now, Casey Anthony claims that she ran out of gas and two people assisted her and pushed the vehicle in here. You look at this building, Amscot check cashing. You look at the building. If we get over here a little closer, you see you've got one surveillance camera in the corner. You have another one by the door. You have another one at the corner, another one on the other corner, and two on the other perimeter of the building. There's 6 cameras on the parking lot, but they didn't record Casey Anthony dropping her car off, verifying anybody pushed her into the parking lot, verifying who picked her up, verifying who was in the car with her, what she did she go into the trunk, didn't she go into the trunk. Anyway, we do know through 2 sources that Anthony Lazaro, her boyfriend, picked her up here. Now, Anthony Lazaro picks her up, the cars ran out of gas. I want you to pan down there. Right there. That's a Chevron gas station. Chevron gas station. Next to that, close to us, is a Sam's Club with several pumps right there. We are surrounded by businesses. Now, doesn't it seem infinitely easier to have Anthony Lazaro take Casey Anthony to the Chevron station, get some gas, come back and retrieve her car? Well, that would seem logical, but that's not what occurred.
The first week in July, friends say that Casey had her nails done, got a new tattoo, and all seemed fine with the world until July 3rd. That's when Casey got upset and told Amy that her brother Lee was looking for her.
I know on the 3rd that she got upset, said her brother was coming to look for her and that they'd leave.
No child.
No.
Back to the apartment, wake up, she gets up and runs out and gets a tattoo.
She goes and gets a new tattoo, which says Bella Vita, which means beautiful life.
So she goes and gets a tattoo. Where on the body is the tattoo?
Her shoulder.
Nice.
Pretty sure it was the shoulder.
And you saw this?
Yeah.
And you saw that. So she's got her fingernails cleaned, done up pretty, and a tattoo in the week that Tony's gone. Goes out partying the 2nd, the 3rd,
And the 4th.
and the
because we had a
4th.
4th of July party.
So the 30th of June through the 5th of July. That whole week she stayed with you, but no child.
No child.
Always stories about where
Always
the child
with the
was?
nanny.
Okay. Then
Always
nobody
had an
knows.
explanation. We never even had to ask. Always had an explanation.
She had her nails done that week?
Yes, I'm pretty sure she had those done on that Tuesday because I don't think she came over on that Monday because I remember coming over with them done.
Fast forward to the 8th. She drives you to the airport.
That Tuesday we had talked and we had already arranged, her driving my car.
No child.
No child. My flight left at 8:10 and I wanted to be at the airport around 6:30.
So it's early.
It's very, then that's why I knew she was going to be the only person that was going to take me, that all my good friends were already gone, so you have to have a decent friend that's going to take you to the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning.
During that time, Caylee stole a checkbook out of her glove compartment.
This is Casey Anthony at an East Orlando Target store just hours after she dropped her friend Amy Huizenga at the airport. For the next week, while Huizenga was on vacation, investigators say Casey repeatedly used her checks and identity, draining Huizenga's checking account. These are copies of the checks with Huizenga's name that investigators say Casey forged.
During Casey Anthony's 3 alleged shopping sprees at Orlando area Target stores,
cherries, cheese, and clothes,
lingerie, hundreds of dollars worth of groceries, and even a case of beer were all bought with checks Casey stole from her friend Amy Huizenga.
Also of significance, prosecutors say Anthony buys only adult clothing, nothing for her daughter Caylee, who had already been missing for more than 3 weeks. Nowhere in the video do you see any sign of Caylee. Just days later, Casey would claim that during this time, she was looking for her daughter on her own.
Looking for her missing daughter on her own before the little girl was even reported missing. But these text messages paint a different picture. Little Caylee was reported missing on July 15th. Now, 3 days earlier, Casey was not busy looking. On July 12th at 1:27 p.m., Casey gets a text message from an unknown person. It reads, "If I get everyone together for you tonight, are you down to have fun?" Later that night, 7:41 p.m., Casey gets another text message from the same unknown person. It reads, "Back booth tonight, 80s retro dancing tonight, it's on." July 14th, 9:39 p.m., the day before Cindy Anthony reports her granddaughter missing, Casey gets a text from a different unknown person. "Scoops tonight." Scoops is a nightclub in Orlando. The message also has a smiley face.
My wife and I are out in our front yard. My wife finds a notice from the United States Postal Service that we have a certified letter, and it said Johnson's Recovery Service, Narcoossee Road, Orlando, Florida. Had my name and my wife's name on it.
And of course, the condition of the car remained the same at Johnson's Tow until George Anthony went over there and discovered the overwhelming smell of a decomposing body.
Orlando Sentinel reporter Bianca Prieto.
And then that's when it's like, oh my gosh, Casey's car's been towed. What's going on? And so they go to pick it up. They get there and they say there's this overwhelming stench just coming from the car. You're 3 feet away. You can smell it.
Talks about pulling into the garage with Casey's car. Cindy, his wife, coming out saying, and we're quoting, "Jesus Christ, what died? Was it the pizza?" Kind of contradicting herself. And George says, yeah, it's the pizza, knowing that it wasn't the pizza that was rotting in the back.
There are interviews with Cindy's co-workers who say they were the ones who first encouraged her to go to the police after she told them Casey's car smelled like a dead body inside.